Hey everyone, my name is Steph Corbell and welcome back to my YouTube channel, Adulting Skills for the Real World, where I teach you all the practical skills that you need in order to become an independent, psychologically healthy adult. These are skills that you probably never learned in school and you probably never learned them in college, and I can say that with a pretty high degree of certainty given that I taught college for about 18 years. I never once saw any of these skills listed on the syllabus. Today's topic is social distancing for social media. What do I mean by that? Well, right now I'm filming this at the time of quarantine. So here in the state of California, where I live, we've been under a stay-at-home order now for about 4 weeks. We're going into week 5 here coming up, so it's been about a month. And we're talking continuously about social distancing, maintaining a safe space of 6 feet from the nearest person when we're out and about in public. That's meant to keep us from transmitting, a deadly disease. And it's pretty hard on all of us. A lot of us are starting to feel really isolated. We miss our family and our friends. We miss getting hugs. And so we're relying on social media more and more, and especially on our phones, in order to stay connected with people that we love and to maintain a sense of community and support through this really, really difficult and stressful time. It's very understandable that most of us are using social media now more than ever before. But here's the thing. Most of us have been using social media a lot for a really long time. And quarantine, it gives us some time to take a step back and reassess. We can ask ourselves the question, are we using social media in a healthy way or in a way that possibly hurts us? I know that I myself have experienced some issues on social media in the past, just like probably all of you have as well if you're on there. And it's made me sometimes just be like, I am going to delete every single social media app off of my phone. I'm gonna move up to the mountains. I'm gonna build a yurt in the foothills, and I'm gonna live out there with 20 cats, and I'm gonna have no drama because they're just gonna cuddle with me all day, and it's gonna be like really freaking awesome, right? Wrong. What happens in your head sometimes isn't necessarily what happens in reality. So if you move up to the mountains with your 20 cats in your yurt, it sounds wonderful and fuzzy and loving, but you're going to miss the human contact. You're going to miss the connections that the human contact can possibly bring you in terms of work and your career, and you're going to have to scoop about 20 litter pans. And to me, that doesn't sound like a whole lot of fun. In order to improve your relationship with social media, I have 3 questions that I think you should ask yourself right now. 1, how much time do you actually spend on your phone? Have you actually ever paid attention to that? Do you check your phone when you first get up in the morning? Like, do you actually sleep in the same room with your phone? Do you keep your phone by your bed and then you get out of bed and you check it and you start endlessly scrolling as soon as you wake up? Do you take your phone with you on walks? Do you take your phone with you when you're in the car and you have to obsessively, compulsively check it every 5 minutes to make sure that you don't have a notification when you're driving somewhere else? Are you the type that checks your phone while you're taking care of business in the business room? Do you take your phone to bed with you at night? Is it the last thing that you take a look at instead of giving a kiss to your partner or your husband or your boyfriend or your girlfriend? Or your cat? Have you ever really thought about how you present yourself on social media? I've noticed that there's certain types out there on social media. You have, say, like the oversharer type, like the person that has to post, say, like 20 to 30 times a day, anytime they do anything. Hey, I got up, I ate oatmeal, it was really awesome. I went for a walk, I petted my dog, and then I saw this beautiful cloud and blah, blah, blah. And that's great. That's kind of like the hallmark of somebody who's probably pretty extroverted and is looking for connection. But if that's you, do you really need to share every single little intimate detail of your life with every single person that you know? Probably not. Are you the look at me type? So by that I mean okay, I can't even do it, but like the duck lip selfie. I'm just not one of those girls, but I have a lot of friends that are, and they're really proud of their makeup skills, and that's awesome. But if you're the type that's always continuously taking selfies, what are you looking to get out of that? Are you looking for validation, that you look pretty? Maybe you can seek that within yourself instead of posting 25 selfies all the time. Are you the paranoid conspiracy theory type? Are you the person that's reposting everything about the evils of fluoride and contrails and aliens and any other possible like dark web theory you can think of in order to maybe scare everybody? Or maybe you're posting those because you're actually genuinely scared of those things yourself and you're looking for validation that you're safe. Are you a news addict that has to continuously post 20 million types of articles every day on exactly the same topic? And I tell you what, during this time of quarantine, I am seeing that over and over and over again. I think it's people genuinely wanting to reach out and connect with others, but at the same time, it tends to really, stir up a lot of negative feelings, because when we just see the same statistics posted over and over again about 20,000 different ways, it ends up not being as helpful as just being a little bit more objective about the situation. Or are you like me? And this is more me than anything else. Are you a Pollyanna? Are you somebody that only posts positive content at all times, makes your life look like it is so freaking awesome and I'm so freaking happy like all the freaking time? Well, you know what? It's not true. And guilty as charged here. A lot of times I put only positive content out. I put out like 5 million pictures of my cat, and you would never know that inside that I'm going through a really, really stressful time. And that's kind of like my therapy, to post like really positive things to try to uplift myself. A third question for you as you assess your interaction with social media is, how are you emotionally affected by it? Do you find yourself getting in a bad mood after you read somebody's posts? Do you find yourself getting scared? Do you feel dirty? Do you feel the impulse to gossip? Is it like a train wreck that you can't look away? Are you using people's negative experiences as a form of entertainment? Or are you comparing yourselves either up or down to other people in order to feel a sense of validation yourself? I highly suggest taking a moment with these 3 questions: assessing how often you use social media, assessing what type of sharer you are on social media, and assessing how social media makes you feel. Take a minute and write down your answers to that. I have 4 strategies for improving your relationship with social media. The first one: time. Track it. And this is where things get really raw and really scary and really, really honest. So if you're wondering about how much time you actually spend on social media, like with the first question, take a stopwatch or your oven timer or anything else that does not involve an app on your phone. And the next time you open one of your phone apps, time exactly how long you spend just infinitely scrolling. And chances are you're probably going to find that you've spent a lot more time than you originally thought. Social media can be one heck of a time suck if you're not careful, and it's meant to be addictive and it's meant to draw you in. So a lot of us are very unaware of how much time we're actually spending on particular platforms. A second method to improve your relationship with social media is unsubscribe from anything that does not serve you. What do I mean by that? Well, on most platforms, you can remain friends or a follower of somebody, and you can unsubscribe from that feed. So if you have somebody on there that you find that you're continually getting sucked into some sort of like gossipy like circle of hell, or you start feeling like you need to take a shower after you read their posts, well, then hit the unfollow or the unsubscribe button. Guess what? They're never going to know that you unsubscribed from their feed. And if you want to keep up with them, well, then you can go to their page at a particular time and you can see if they're up to their old tricks. I'm going to keep my social distance for a little bit of time. My third method to create healthier interactions with social media is treat it like a business. I know that sounds kind of cold, but what I mean by that is schedule a time to interact with people online. So if you see that you've been spending an average of 2 to 3 hours a day scrolling through your phone, and I guarantee you that's not really out of the question right now during this quarantine period, you may want to cut that down maybe to an hour and split it up into 2 half-an-hour blocks. What you'll find is that you're going to be much more intentional with your time. You're going to look to the things that interest you the most, And you're going to be much more efficient with your time on social media. You're going to have much more meaningful interactions with people if you're only going to the things that matter to you the most. My fourth method to create a healthier use of social media is be intentional with every single thing that you post or put out there on social media. And what do I mean by that? Well, you can ask yourself a couple of questions before you hit the post or the send button. And the first one being, what good could possibly come of this? Have you ever actually thought about that before you created a post before? Like, really think about, how is this going to benefit the people that follow me? Is it going to worry them? Maybe you don't post it. Is it just going to create a fight or a drama? Maybe don't post it. Think twice. Another question to ask yourself is, am I going to want to remember this in 10 years? And I've definitely fallen into this trap in the past where I've just wanted to rant and get something out and vent, and everybody has that need. And I get it, especially when you're going through a really, really difficult time and you're looking for support. But here's the secret about the internet. Nothing ever dies on the internet. Have you ever heard of the Wayback Machine? I found my old MySpace page through that, and it was like absolutely terrifying. And I never want to see my MySpace from 2006 ever again. I don't know about you. Anyways, if you're going through a particularly traumatic time, why would you want to immortalize that for the entire world to see and to bring up the memory of that every single year? Why would you want to bring up trauma and relive that over and over again? I don't see how that could possibly be beneficial for anyone or you. So really think twice about it. Am I going to want to remember this? Also, before posting, if you're unsure of the answers to these questions, then there's no harm in taking a 24-hour cool-off period. Create a draft of your post, go about your day, go to bed, get up the next morning, and then take a look at your draft. If it still seems like a really good idea and that you're going to get something out of it, then by all means, go ahead, press that post, press that send button. But if not, and you think twice and you're like, ooh, maybe that wasn't such a good idea, then you can just delete it. And guess what? No one's going to know, and I'm certainly not going to tell anybody. One really awesome benefit that I've seen come out of this quarantine period is for the term self-care to be entering into the common lexicon that everybody's using. We're all thinking about how to take better care of ourselves. Our physical health and our mental health, they're so intrinsically linked, and it's so important during a stressful time period to take care of ourselves to the max so that we're maintaining our immune system as best as possible. I think of creating social distance on social media as an ultimate act of self-care. It's about creating a really, really safe bubble for yourself through which no one can actually permeate and affect your mood or your stress level. We talk about safe spaces all the time in contemporary society. And while I think that's a good thing, I also don't think it's society's obligation to you to create a safe space for you. It's up to you to create that safe space for yourself. I really hope that this video and my suggestions have given you a new arsenal in your toolbox to help you create that bubble of safety for yourself during the quarantine period and also going forward in your life. Thank you all so much for watching my channel today. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up and think about subscribing. Also, if you got something out of this, or you have a question, or you have something that I want to address, go ahead and leave it in the comments below and I will definitely get back to you. I really enjoy hearing from all of my viewers. Thank you again, everybody, so much. We'll see you next time, and I'm starting a series coming up very soon on the gig economy and the cash economy. So stay tuned. I have a lot more videos coming for you shortly. Thanks, bye.